Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Making my coffee this morning in my new mug from Laura. Thank you again, Laura. Well, I managed to find another container of Folgers hazelnut decaf, so I'm using that again. I seem to do a little better with decaf coffee than regular coffee, but every now and then I need to take a break from it, but that's okay. Sometimes I like tea too, so I can switch to tea. But right now, I'm having coffee. So today is going to be 77, and this week we're going to be cooler in the 70s. So I'm very happy about that. It's starting to feel somewhat fall-like. And actually September is a beautiful month. And it's become my favorite month of the year. Used to be July and August because it was nice and hot, but not anymore. So September is really nice here in Ohio. We still get some warm days, some hot days, but it's a nice mix. So this summer was really a great summer as far as weather goes, as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't super hot, which was really, really nice. And it was good for the garden, and it was good for me too. So I don't know if my handyman guy's coming today. He never got a hold of me yesterday, so he's always busy. He fixes cars too, so he's always got a car to work on. And that's actually his job. He kind of works on his own, and he does odd jobs and fixes cars, but his main thing is working on cars. So I know he's very busy, but I really need to get that shutter hung up, and I need my house power washed in the back because it's still super green. All right, let's give the coffee a taste. I know I'm going to like it. Cheers. Yep, very nice. Hazelnut really is one of my favorite coffees. And adding chocolate creamer to it, it's kind of a Nutella kind of thing. So I'm not planning on going anywhere today unless I go to my mom's. We're supposed to get some rain, but I really need to get out there and do a few things in the garden too. Start pulling out a few things. So I don't know, we'll see how the day goes. I also need to do some work upstairs, get a few more things ready for the donation people. I have a pile going in my living room of things that I'm going to donate. So I'd like to keep the ball rolling. All right, I'm going to enjoy my coffee, and I will meet you at the budget book. Okay, here I am back at the budget book. Yesterday I didn't spend any money either, so that's good, but I'm going to have to go to Walmart sometime this week because I'm almost out of chocolate creamer, and I need butter. I don't have any butter, but I could make some like vegan butter, so I may do one or the other. And I still have other creamer I can use up, so I'll see how long I'm going to go before I actually go do a little tiny bit of shopping. Like I said, I really have to tighten the belt this month, so I'm going to do a very low spend and see how that goes. Sometimes we have these plans and then things come up and you end up spending quite a bit more. So, but it's good to at least have a plan. So as far as food goes, I don't need much. I don't need to cook today because I cooked yesterday. used up a bunch of veggies from the garden and things I had from the last time I went shopping that needed to be used up. So I'm trying to really stretch my meals, and so far so good. And they turn out delicious. You know, it's not like I'm lacking for anything as far as meals go. So there's still a lot of things that I need for my house, but I have to pace myself and just do one task at a time. I don't want to totally let it go because I don't want my house to deteriorate in value. I have people that send me things all the time. Do you want to sell your house? Do you want to sell your house? No. If I wanted to sell my house, I would have a for sale sign in the front. So I don't know if some of these companies are just gobbling up the real estate. I think it's disgusting. But especially in this day and age where so many people are struggling to keep their homes. But it is what it is, so I guess we have to adjust. So one of these days I have to take a freezer inventory and sort of rearrange some of the things in the freezer, because I'm starting to forget what's in my garage freezer. And I know I have some butter out there, but I guess I could just take an inventory and then make a list, and then I'll know exactly what's out there. I mean, it's not a big freezer, but it's a chest freezer, which is not my favorite. I liked my other freezer much better because it was an upright. And one of these days I will buy another upright, but they cost more, and I needed a freezer sooner rather than later, and I got this one on sale. So it's still useful, but I really need to see what's in there at the bottom so it doesn't get too old. So rotating my freezer food is going to be a priority for me when it comes to cooking down the meals. So I want to do that the rest of the year and not totally deplete my freezer stash, but I want to make sure, I want to get to that point where I have enough but not too much. So, and that way I can at least keep it stocked up and not have to restock it all at once and spend a ton of money. At least that's my goal. So, all right, I'm not sure what I'm going to do today. I woke up really early again. I don't know what's with that, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just do a little decluttering. Nothing heavy where I have to pull everything out, but just putting some things in a pile and getting them ready for Tuesday. So, all right, I'll be back. Well, good morning. I thought I'd have my coffee with you this morning. Cheers again. Well, this morning I was sitting here thinking, I wanted to talk a little bit about saving money as you get older and how hard it is for most of us, especially if you're a single person. It's a little bit easier if you have a partner, but if you're a single person, and especially if you're a woman, saving money gets really difficult. First of all, a lot of us that are older, if we're fortunate enough to have some retirement money squirreled away, that's good, but you have to start using it. And in this economy, you don't know how far it's going to stretch. So you have to be very mindful and careful with the money that you do have. So that's one thing, because your income is usually pretty low. I know a lot of people live on Social Security only. I don't know how they do that, but you know, at least if you have a little bit of savings put away for retirement. It makes it a little easier, but this inflation and this economy is just so out of control, especially for older people, that it's just really, really getting to be a struggle. So a lot of us have all the material things we could ever want. At least many of us do. So it's not that you have to spend your money on that. In fact, most of us are at a point where we want less stuff. But even selling your things, it takes forever. And then you have the problem of, let's say you want to sell some furniture. It's like, do you really want somebody coming into your home and picking it up? That gets a little sketchy sometimes because there's a lot of sketchy people out there, and it's getting more and more so. And now they even want, if we go to a digital dollar system, which they're talking about doing, you won't have any cash at all. It'll all be, everything will be online. Every single thing you do will be tracked. So that is going to be even more difficult, and you won't have, your little piggy bank there with your little stash, maybe from selling something that you had. So I think it's what their plan is, anything over $500 is you're going to have to declare on your income tax. Now, don't quote me on that. That's just something I read. So, let's make life a little harder for people. What a great idea. But anyway, another thing that really gets expensive as you get older is your medical bills. Most of us, unless we're really, really blessed, do end up with some sort of medical issues. It may not be life-threatening, but it's still things that need to be taken care of. A lot of senior people need to take medications in order just to stay alive, so that costs a lot of money. And food, the food, a lot of people, it's like, well, do I take my meds or do I eat this week? And then your diet isn't what it should be, because you spent the money on your meds, so you really have to tighten the belt on your groceries. So what do you buy? You buy a lot of cheaper foods that aren't really the best for you, but that's all you can afford. So that gets more difficult. So just squirreling away a little bit of money gets really hard, because a lot of times you can't do things yourself anymore. I know that's true with me. I did a lot of things myself when I was a younger woman. I just can't do them anymore, so I have to hire somebody. And that gets expensive too, even if you know somebody that is willing to work with you as far as the price goes. You have to pay somebody. I know housekeeping gets harder, and that's not cheap. Anywhere from $20 to $30 an hour is what they reasonably or unreasonably charge. So that's an expense. Garden work gets harder. Some of us need to hire help doing our gardens. Any maintenance, and if you've lived in a house for a long time, then you have to start doing repairs on roofs and windows. So that's an expense, and it's something that you can't do that yourself. You have to pay for it. So it gets harder and harder as you get older to save money. But we do the best we can with what we have. But there comes a point where you can only stretch a dollar so far. So, and then a lot of people have to rely on their families to help them out. and they're struggling too, so that makes it really hard for them. So it's not easy getting older and trying to save money. I know a lot of us are in that boat, and that's probably why there's so many homeless people, especially in states like California. It's a real issue. And I don't know, it's just one big mismanagement of everything. I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about the people in charge. It's just so mishandled and so over the top ridiculous that it's getting to be harder and harder, even if you're very frugal and very prudent with your money. Some of us that have had the foresight to make some investments, they go in the toilet. So then you have to think even harder about, do I really want to take money out of the savings that I have that keeps shrinking and getting smaller? So, but on the other hand, talking too much. On the other hand, we still have to do the best we can. So, what are some of the things that we can do? All right, that was all the negative stuff. Let's just get that out of the way. What are some of the positive things we can do for ourselves? Well, we can spend more time in our homes and having guests over, and even if that's just for cookies and tea, cookies that you bake yourself. So, I mean, I'm a homebody. I like to be in my home. I don't mind being alone, but it's really not good to be alone all the time. You need socialization. So, just having friends over once in a while, it doesn't have to be a whole party. It can be one little old lady with another little old lady having some tea, having a nice conversation. So that's something that you can do to entertain yourself. Having some hobbies, whether that's coloring, you can start a coloring book, even if you're not artistic. They aren't that expensive. Picking up your little hobbies, your little DIY projects and things at the Dollar Tree, that shouldn't break the bank. So you can pick up a couple of things to paint. Dollar Tree has a lot of art supplies now. You could pick up a few things to make yourself happy. Putting on some music and just, dancing to the best of your ability. And if that's with a walker or, chair dancing. Chair dancing is fun. But anyway, just to lift your mood, that is a good thing you can do for yourself. Spending time with your family, having your little grandkids over or your older grandkids over, just for some conversation and talking about your life and things you've done in your life and passing on a legacy to them so that they get to know you, and it's not just, oh, grandma's old, so, but tending to something other than yourself. Now for me, that's my dogs and my house plants and my garden, which is actually, I'm right at the precipice of that being a bit much, the garden I mean, but I'll still continue to do it. I may not do it on the scale that I did it this year, but I'll just keep cutting back until I'm comfortable with it again. So just keeping yourself busy, and you don't want to just sit in a chair and wither away. Going for a walk if you're able, just to be in nature, feel the wind in your face, just anything to lighten your mood, watching funny movies on TV, getting one subscription maybe that isn't too expensive, getting a cheaper internet, something that works for you. So keeping in contact with people online, if you can't get out of the house, keeping a connection with people online. Make yourself a YouTube channel. People love to hear little old ladies telling stories on YouTube. Some of them have a lot of followers, and it's something to do. And you don't need any fancy equipment. All you need is a smartphone and a tripod, and you can have yourself a YouTube channel. So there's lots and lots of things that you can do, at least to entertain yourself. As far as cooking goes, just keeping it very simple. Simple ingredients, not a whole big long list of ingredients. Changing up the flavor with spices. You know, you can make things taste Italian or Mexican or Indian, or just by changing up the spices with actually the same ingredients. So if you don't like to cook, throw ingredients in a slow cooker. Anybody can do that. Or make soup in an Instapot. But keeping it down to fewer ingredients and less expensive ingredients. That'll help stretch your money some too. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because it's kind of been heavy on my mind, trying to think of ways that I can still be happy and healthy and maintain a really wonderful life without relying on a lot of money all the time. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. So, if you have ideas below about some of the things that you do to make your life a little more exciting, a little happier, a little bit more fulfilling, leave it in the comments below and share your thoughts with us. Because as a collective group, we can put our heads together and think of ways to maybe beat the system a little bit. That would be great. So, all right, well, that's my little chat for the day, and I'll be back later and see what I'm going to have for dinner. All right. All right, well, here's this evening's meal for one. I took some of the rice that I made the other day from the stuffed peppers, and I mixed that up with the textured vegetable protein. So I made some Spanish rice out of it. You can add a little bit of Tony Chachere's if you want to give it a little bit of a kick. Then I had 2 pieces of zucchini Parmesan left. So I'm having that and a salad. So there is today's dinner for one. All right, my friends, dinner was good. Another way to stretch your meals using ingredients that you've already cooked up and reinventing it into a meal for one. Very, very easy to do. That way you don't have to cook every day and you don't have a lot of food left over that you have to throw away. So I got a hold of my shutter guy, and he said he's going to be going to Florida in 6 days, and he's been really busy, but he says he still wants to do the shutters, so I hope he follows through before he goes to Florida, because that would mean he'd be gone at least 2 weeks. You can only do what you can do, right? All right, my friends, That's all I have for you today. I hope you had a great day. And I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Thanks for watching.